The most revealing thing from this whole FreshandFit debacle is the confirmation that they paid to have a lot of these guests or collaborations on their platform without disclosing that to the audience.
Try it. So they started promoting that heavy. They started gassing it up, making all these type of lofty promises. This is going to be there. That's going to be there. This person's going to be there. That person's going to be there. They had some really big names, on the podcast within the same month. Mr. Organic, Bandman Kevo, they were trying to get for the longest. So they paid those guys to come on the show. Basically, he's like, yeah, but I paid $15,000 for Mr. Organic, and I paid $5,000 for Bandman Kevo for an hour.
I'll let you lot be the judge of whether or not it's ethical. If you have a sponsor, you usually disclose that.
Early in the game, the accusation was, oh my God, there's so many girls on the show, so many beautiful girls on the show. Oh, they got to be paying girls to come on. And of course, Myron was adamantly denying that. We don't pay girls to come on the show, blah, 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 blah.
They're players, they go out and cold
let me cut the shit. The girls were not paid to go on that show. Not one female was paid to go on that show. The male guests, almost all the male guests were paid to come on that show. Female guests were not paid to come on that show. Not even the Danny Banks or the Kikis were paid to come on that show. Not even the girls with 1 million followers, like Mia Francis, girls like that. They weren't paid to come on the show. But here's the thing though. I brought them on the show, and they paid me to bring the girls on the show. Again, I have the receipts. I have all cash apps every time that might pay me. So them paying the girls to come on the show, that's true and false at the same time. They paid, but they paid me.
Yeah, it was indirect.
Right.
But this is basically the same Podcast Payola allegation that Earn Your Leisure was accused of.
The impression that I got. But let's see how it's explained by him 500.
Take it a step back. We went to do $1 million worth of game in February, right? Not February, December. I filmed $1 million worth of game in December, okay? Just that and the third. He called me and asked me if I want to be on $1 million worth of game. Let's clear it up. He asked me if I want to be on $1 million. I ain't asked him. I ain't call him ask no favor. He called me, asked me if I want to be on $1 million worth of game. Word to God. Josh told him no. He said it's 50,000. Josh said I'm cool. He told Alex it's 50,000. Alex said I'm cool. He told me I don't care. I'm like 50,000 $1 million worth of game, run the play.
I'm like 50,000 $1 million worth of game, run the play. Run the play.
Run the play. Run it. It's to get on the platform, right? Said it's 50,000. Then I paid for the full run. I paid to be on the show.
I paid to be on the show. I paid to be on the show. I paid to be on the show.
And it's ready to change the game.
Let me tell you something. If you young, you middle age, you old, you need help with your credit
busted and disgusted,
and you don't got no money, we're gonna fix your motherfucking problem today.
There's a whole lot of passion. There's a whole lot of passion in that ringing endorsement that that $1 million worth of game is giving him 500 so much passion, so much energy. The build up. Remember, this is the opening of the show. Him 500 hasn't even said a word yet.
Spurgo, Wall Street Trapper, MG the Mortgage Guy, Alex Good Energy, and of course, Ian Dunlap, the master investor. Some of your favorites, right? That's what Earn Your Leisure has done for the people. So it's some people. People say things without having a full understanding of what they're actually saying. The problem with that is that it's not true. So some people think that you can pay to get on Earn Your Leisure. Ian, how much did you pay to get on Earn Your Leisure?
Not $1. And truth be told, they had to take some damn convincing to get on.
You cannot.
To be real.
You cannot pay to get on Earn Your Leisure. We have never, and I'm not even saying I'm not knocking somebody that's doing that. Yeah. I'm just saying we have never accepted $1. You can't pay to get on Earn Your Leisure, and we've been offered a bag. You can't pay to get on Earn Your Leisure. Bags. So if anybody says that they paid to get on Earn Your Leisure,
or Market Mondays, because I can't afford what Cuban would.
Market Mondays, we never paid for a guest. So let's just get that straight. This is facts. No, let's do that. Nobody has ever paid to get on Earn Your Leisure. If you ever find somebody that says they paid to get on Earn Your Leisure, show proof. I'll give you every single thing in my brokerage account.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. When you go to bed at night, you lay there and you take responsibility for yourself, because nobody's going to take responsibility for you.
Now, whether or not him and 500 paid to get on EYL, we don't have no conclusive evidence. So we can say allegedly he paid to get on EYL. But we also know, that another fraudster or alleged fraudster, Jay Morrison, was formerly on EYL.
Okay, so the brothers from Earn Your Leisure were recently on The Breakfast Club, and DJ Envy asked them a very important question.
But how do you go between, who's telling the truth and who's not? How do y'all do your due diligence?
Yeah, we try to do as much research as we possibly can, but sometimes it's difficult. Really try to vet people, and but to be completely honest with you about it, sometimes you don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get a good feel for somebody and then something might come out later on. And then I think you just got to take the steps at that point to correct it. If it's an issue, you know what I'm saying? Take it down.
Okay, so I looked all over YouTube and the internet for this episode of Earn Your Leisure with Jay Morrison. And this is all I could find. The video has been removed. In fact, any video with Earn Your Leisure and Jay Morrison can only be found on channels and pages controlled by Jay Morrison.
You have the real estate crowdfund, right? So what is a real estate crowdfund? Like what's the details of that?
If you can see right here on the screen, what I have is a alert that the NFL Players Association put out on this fund. His background says item number 2. So number 1, he was a drug dealer for a very long time in his past. Okay, item number 2, Mr. Morrison's 2016 bankruptcy filing. See, I want to be clear. We're talking about Chapter 7 bankruptcy. We're not talking about a bankruptcy for a business that needs to reorganize their debts so that they can catch up on some back payments. We're talking about Chapter 7. I ain't got it. Leave me alone. I'm not paying y'all back. Bad credit for 7 years. Chapter 7 bankruptcy. He filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy basically in the last month of 2016. So we're talking about December the 5th, 2016. So you can basically say 2017. The fund went public in 2018, 1 year later. So you're telling me, that, okay, this is a good investment. Who's going to be managing this fund? A guy who filed for bankruptcy a year ago. A guy who filed for personal bankruptcy a year ago is going to be managing my client's money. Let me think about that.
Now, I did some digging and I was wondering, has there been any other potential fake gurus on their platform? And I came across this video where EYL had Justin Owens on their platform. Now, I was like, this name sounds familiar. This name really sounds familiar. So I did a little Google search. You type in Justin Owens, and on the related search term, you get I Am Academy. Let's click on it, shall we? He is associated with I Am Academy, which is essentially an MLM pyramid scheme organization. Now, this video is not about MLM or about Forex or about pyramid schemes, but if you simply do a YouTube search, one simple YouTube search, type in I Am Academy, you get MLM or pyramid scheme also in the related search results. And from there, you get a host of unsavory videos of people describing their association or their experience with I Am Academy. So, this is a third person that may not be an ideal guest or may not be 100% authentic that EYL has had on their platform. So, buyer beware.
To make sure that I'm being extremely clear about what's going on. This is not a shot at any one financial guru, nor is this a shot at any one podcast. I am talking about the entire industry of podcasts that bring on financial gurus. I'm just using this one particular video of a financial guru who is admitting that he paid to play. He was never going to be on this podcast if he did not pay money. Clearly, he was never going to be on this podcast until he paid money. Then he went from that podcast, $1 million worth of game, to another podcast, which is Earn Your Leisure. Now, he admits to paying $1 million worth of game. So it doesn't take a PhD in finance to jump to the conclusion and assume that maybe he also paid Earn Your Leisure. Now, he didn't admit to the Earn Your Leisure pay to play. He definitely admitted to $1 million worth of game.
FreshandFit make it seem like they are just friends, right, with these influencers and content creators. But unbeknownst to the audience, there's an undisclosed business transaction Basically, just assume any guest on their platform was either paid to get on there or the guests themselves paid to get on their platform. Just ask content creator JR Wisdom, who was asked to pay $11,000.
This is the amount, so on and so forth. So, I responded back and I said, okay, what's the price tag? Right? And they come back and send me, not even professional at all, in my opinion. Hey, this is us on Social Blade or whatever the hell it was, whatever the hell this thing is. This is how much we get paid per video or how much we charge per video. 11 grand. Okay. I mean, that's cool. So I just left it at that. I'm like, okay, you guys just basically dismissive, even though you're responding. It's just basically like dismissive. 11 grand, go on business. You'll never be able to afford this. As if 11 grand, I'm not saying it's worth it or it isn't worth it at the end of the day, because based off of the return on investment for that, but 11 grand, bro, and you just came out like as if you're charging everybody that comes on your show 11 grand. From the bros that's on there to the dudes that's on there, you're charging 11 grand. But that's neither here nor there, man. It's just the arrogance of these guys.
Now, this pay to play proposition is a very, 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 very good environment for other potential scammers to peddle their trash courses and money making ideas. And you know what they say, birds of a feather flock together.
These guys have a product called DMs on Demand, which is going to show you how to DM the most beautiful women in your city and get them on dates. When I fixed my profile and tapped into that hidden 10% of guys who have status in game, I had the women I dreamed about. The women that I previously thought were way out of my league were now messaging me to hang out with them. The women that once rejected me for not being interesting and having a high value lifestyle now wanted to be friends with me. And the women who are attracted to the top 10% of guys were now begging me for alone time together. With all of these amazing women Myron is dating, it's amazing that he doesn't have any receipts on his Instagram page. It's funny that the screenshots proving that this system works includes what is insinuated to be Myron's DM inbox, which no proof is provided, so that's flaw number one. Flaw number two is that blue checkmark girls are not DMing a guy like Myron who has very little clout in the social media world. Flaw number three is that I've never seen an inbox look like this. Flaw number four is the dates don't align. From top to bottom, the dates are 14 hours, 3 weeks, 8 weeks, 1 week, and 1 week. They aren't even in chronological order, so clearly this is a fake image. Proof that their system works is a clearly photoshopped image. What would be funny is having Myron show his Instagram DMs live on the podcast, but we all know why he would never do that.
Of note, we've seen FreshandFit have real estate, crypto, and day trading influencers on their platform, teaching us how to make money online and get out of debt. With courses selling for as high as $900 with Cultivate Crypto and $800 for Wall Street Academy by Q Banks. It goes without saying that the make money online or financial freedom / passive income industry is laced with fake guru upon fake guru upon fake guru, embellishing a lifestyle to sell courses, informational products to their audience. FreshandFit, just like Earn Your Leisure, is obligated to do extensive background research on these guests before bringing them onto their platform to their impressionable audience. Basically, guests must be vetted regardless of whether or not they're paying. And this is not to say that platforms like Earn Your Leisure or FreshandFit don't have good guests on their platform, but to take everything online with a grain of salt.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Of note, we have Andrew Tate, Mr. Organic, and Bandman Kevo as some of the wealthiest guests that FreshandFit have had on their podcast. First out the bat, we got former kickboxer and multi-millionaire businessman Andrew Tate. Brief look at his Instagram page, and it gives off fake guru vibes, no different to those of Dan Locke, Ty Lopez, and Grant Cardone. We have a different location tagged in damn near every other post to show that he has the money, right, to be well traveled. And we have the classic image of the private jet, fancy car, and beautiful woman in the background. So, you're probably wondering, how did Andrew Tate become rich in the first place? Cue the footage.
Might as well tell all my secrets, right? There you go. So, this is a long story, right? So I had the webcam business. So a lot of people are very curious about how the webcam business worked. So basically, I was sitting there after I retired from fighting, and I thought, I need to get rich today. And when I was writing down assets, I realized, with my fight career, because I was traveling the world, all I do is, because I always win, because I'm sexy, when you win, it's almost like a given, right? The ring girl's yours. When you win, you smash. Like they ain't fucking a loser. But if you win, so I had all these girlfriends. I had girlfriends in France, Slovakia, Germany, all these hot chicks, and they thought I was the big millionaire world champion, right? They thought I was living in London with a Ferrari, and I'm still texting them, and they thought I was living the big life.
Damn.
So I was like, well, I could open a strip club, but that takes money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need overhead, I need money. How can I use these women to make me money? I don't want to put them on the track because they're my women. I don't want other people touching my chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And by coincidence, I'm just Googling things up, and I discovered this webcam website. And I'd never heard of webcam before. This is a long time ago as well. It wasn't as big as it is now. Now everyone knows about OnlyFans, all this shit. Like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever this was, it wasn't nearly as big.
Basically, he made his wealth by leveraging the girls he was dating and pimping them out on webcam.
I found this little webcam thing, and I was like, this might be some money. So I text all my girlfriends, I think it was 5 of them, text all 5, said, you're all coming here to live with me and work with me. None of them knew about each other. Bro, Tristan will tell you the story. He'll tell you. All 5 flew in, picked them all up. They're all sitting there. I sat around the same table. Bro, I need to get paid. Right? I'm broke now. I'm retired from fighting. I have no money. I'm running out of money. So I put them all around the same table, and I was like, look, we're going to start a webcam business. You're going to stay. You're going to live in London. I'm going to look after you, and we're going to get rich. We're going to be a team.
Basically, AKA online stripping.
And they're all like, well, who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend. She's my girlfriend. She's my girl. You're all my chicks. And you're going to stay here, and we're going to make some money. Big fight kicks off, blah, 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 blah. In the end, long story short, 3 left, 2 stayed. Those are my first 2 girls. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. And it just grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations.
Damn.
And I was doing $600,000 a month from webcam. So
This was many years before other webcam sites and platforms like OnlyFans were popping. Side note, this is why I side-eye guru sometimes. You could very well have been a millionaire in Bitcoin, real estate, OnlyFans, Shopify dropshipping, or even on YouTube, and you were able to tap into a hidden market, or there was a loophole that allowed you to make a substantial amount of income at the time. Shombo, at the time.
It for fun, whereas I feel like you always saw the potential of what this turns into.
Well, there's definitely a gap in the market. You know, when I went onto YouTube late 2016, a freshman in college, and I was looking for a way to make money. You know, I had like all my other businesses, I was doing lawn care, firewood and everything, but I was looking for something that I could really, really work on, and it was just a gap in the market. You know, when you see, there were a couple of finance channels at the time, but they were getting, 20, 30,000 views with 1,000 subscribers, and there were a lot of people looking for it and no content on it. So it was a pretty clear opportunity, and I think right now we're seeing that shift, like not so much on YouTube, but actually on other platforms.
But now, this method of making money might have become saturated, and perhaps you're no longer making as much money as you used to. And despite that money-making method declining, you're gonna now teach people how they can also become millionaires or make 6 figures just like you, because you have perceived authority in that niche. See how there's a contradiction there?
It's interesting when you say that because, I know a lot of people who commit a crime when they're like 16, 17, 18, boom, they're in prison for 10 years, or somebody who everything seems like it's going great for them. They're on a college team or some shit. Boom, they get a DUI. Fucked. It's like there's so many little things. I think it's easy to forget how much luck plays a role in success. Like you just have to get, like, you know how many crimes I committed?
Basically, all I'm saying is even if they were a legit guru, right? Not disclosing your own inherent competitive advantage at the time to your audience while still selling informational courses leaves an unsavory taste in my mouth. Now, Andrew Tate is heavy on promoting his War Room program for the low price of $5,000. Cool 5 bands, where you can network with other millionaires and professionals. Although, I wouldn't trust a review or testimonial if the first and last name of the person giving it has been blocked out. If I can't find them on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn, it's probably cap. Professional kappa, you know what I'm saying? Professional kappa. It is very easy to fake a positive review. It's pretty straightforward. You can even pay to get positive press releases on Forbes, Business Insider, Yahoo Finance. So it doesn't tell me anything. I need first and last names. But to Andrew's credit, and according to Reddit, he's recently come out with a program called Hustlers University 2.0 to appeal to us broke individuals at $49 per month. So shout out to him.
Everyone, listen up. You didn't lose your money. Now you have your... Technically, you kind of lost your money.
I wish more fake gurus would be considerate to their audience and, adopt this method of payment or this approach of payment, right? Rather than charging some next outrageous amount, $5,000, $1,000 for informational products. You know what I'm saying? You know, a little Google search of Andrew leaves you with some interesting reviews online about him and his money-making methods. But ultimately, you get linked to a Twitter thread titled "The Truth About Andrew Tate's WRTA," aka War Room Trading Academy.
Make money month on month for the rest of your adult life. I'm gonna do a spin. I'm gonna repeat that. You will make money month on month for the rest of your adult life. Show me the money! This is the best method you have ever seen to make money online. All I did was copy and paste. We're gonna have the same percentage gain as long as you copy my trades exactly to the letter. Do as you're told, follow the instructions. You need to be thinking 10,000 a week, not 10,000 a month. People are joining and making their 2,997 back in the first day. You can hire the best in the world. We are some of the best traders in the world. In the end, it's only results that matter. Nothing else matters.
So as you can see, Twitter and Reddit are the gift that just keep on giving. No cap. I don't know how an MMA fighter turned webcam pimp is not going to teach you how to make money with Forex day trading groups or with Amazon FBA when he never used those things to become a millionaire himself. You know what I'm saying? Now, although Andrew Tate seems to have legitimately got his first taste of financial freedom by being an online pimp, you know, his persona makes it very believable. There's no real, I won't really question it, to be honest. But, how he continues to maintain his luxury lifestyle is where my fake guru vibes and spidey senses emanates. Especially when you admittedly hang around scammers.
I'm talking about mafia bosses. If you follow my Instagram, you will see pictures of high-level street pimps. I have friends with $1.5 million Lamborghinis purely from street girls. I have mafia boss friends, active and retired. I have scam artists. I have fraudsters. These are the people I hang around with. These are the people I know. These are the people I hang around with. If they have something to say, they're going to say it, but it's only going to be in the war room.
If you want decent money-making advice and brutal truth about a subject matter, I'd highly recommend tapping into the r/personal finance subreddit on Reddit. You get information from people with no financial incentive to lie to you or embellish your lifestyle to sell courses. Most of the time, these people are random names. There's no profile picture. It's just words, information, and take it how you want it. Any make money online question or financial question you have, simply add Reddit. You know, if it's self-publishing audiobooks on Audible, getting out of debt, stock investing, simply add Reddit to your query, and you'll get a host of decent answers about what you're looking for. All aboard! Next up on the chopping block, we got Mr. Organic, an ex-gangster turned YouTube influencer and millionaire who owns a mansion in Malibu. Who rents a mansion in Malibu, California. Roll the footage.
Y'all, so Mr. Organic is a popular YouTuber in the car community. He recently went on a podcast and bragged about purchasing a multi-million-dollar estate in Malibu, California.
Rich man.
I do. I'm a rich man. I got an estate in Malibu. Okay,
an
2
estate?
acres. Yes.
Oh, I
2
would like
acres.
to see the paperwork.
Okay, we can show you paperwork.
Go ahead.
Now, I looked at Los Angeles County property records, and this home was not sold. It is not owned by Mr. Organic. It has remained with the same owner since 2006, and they use this as a rental property. The property records are public record. You can look it up. You can look up the address, but there's no reason for people to lie. You see, when YouTubers get on the internet and lie, you can't lie about real estate. You can lie about cars, you can lie about clothes, but you can't lie about real estate. And so a lot of his content, he says it's motivational. He's telling people how to go from being broke to being quote unquote rich. And, he wants people to work hard so they can be successful like him. Interesting. Bought my first home and it's an estate. Manifest all dreams estate. He says, organic love to Jackson Properties for getting me the best deal ever. Now the wealth begins. Now I want to warn you, if you ask Mr. Organic about this house, and if you ask Jackson Properties about this house, they are going to block you. Because I asked them about this house and they blocked me. So if you enjoy his content and you don't want to get blocked, don't ask him about this house. because he's going to block you and then he's going to delete the comment. All right? Influencers, if you're watching this, I want to encourage you to be honest, tell the truth.
As well as allegations that he doesn't own the luxury cars that he says he does, but rather leases them.
The thing is, the point is, I'm upfront with people, bro. If you were upfront and told people, hey, I lease everything and this is how much I really pay, people just got to call Circa Cuz and find out how much you pay. And you keep saying these wild numbers. You keep saying that you're 10, 20 million, that you, brother, again, people are not dumb. By you keeping that mentality, you're making your subscribers think that they are stupid because they can't find out the truth, bro. They can't find out the truth, bro. It's better to speak the truth at all times. Truth will set you free, brother. Don't be afraid to walk through the valley of shadow of death. As I can tell, you have such an ego in you that it is hurtful to you, bro. And I know what happened. I know why you're like this, bro. I've been with you for many years, bro. I know what happened when you were young, and it's okay.
I want to talk about Mr. Organic today. I used to be a fan of Mr. Organic. Discovered him about a year ago when I was watching Tall Guy car reviews. But it's like the more and more I watch Mr. Organic videos, I slowly found out that he was a fraud. I mean, every single video for 9 months now has been clickbait. This guy got to be one of the biggest clickbaiting idiots on YouTube right now. Every damn video is a fraud. Now, he posted a video 3 or 4 days ago talking about he finally bought his Ferrari. Like all his subscribers and followers are just some idiots, like we was born yesterday. Like you could just piss on the top of our head and tell us it's rain. Now, let me rephrase that. Let me back up. Most of the subscribers on Mr. Organic channel are some dummies. And this ain't to disrespect you guys, but when I look in the comment section and I see you guys big legendary, all this necessary, dumb catchphrases that Mr. Organic like to use, you guys act like y'all don't have a mind of y'all own. Like you can't do no critical thinking, like you can't think for yourself to know that this dude is a phony. Now, he said he was worth $2 million in one video, then the next time he turned around and said he was worth $20 million. Now, I don't really count another man's pocket, and that's not my business or what you got in your bank account. But don't come out here fronting, trying to be something that you know you're not. Now, if you was worth so much money, you would have been able to afford a brand new Rolls Royce, not a 2015 Rolls Royce. You would have been able to get this Ferrari a year ago. But instead, you want to go post up next to your next door neighbor Ferrari, white Ferrari. Check the video out, talking about you got approved for it. And I'm so glad I didn't watch the video because I know you now. I was able to just go straight to the comment section and read the comments to realize that that video was clickbait.
Also, it is never a good sign for your brand when one of the first related search results is Mr. Organic House Exposed, or Mr. Organic Scammer, or when you are in an interview and you have to defend yourself against scamming accusations like a no jumper. So, usually when there's smoke, there's fire. There's some truth to what's going on. It's not all lies or people bad-mouthing you, And lastly, he's been selling a monthly subscription ranging from $4.99 to $100 per month for the Gargoyle Gang, as he likes to call it. However, time and time again, he's failed to deliver on exclusive shoutouts and collaborations for the members of his Gargoyle Gang monthly subscription service.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Basically, fans are not getting what they paid for in seeking to grow their own YouTube channel or brand.
I thought long and hard how to make a video regarding this topic. And for the people that don't want to hear this, I'll be talking about another YouTuber that goes by the name of Mr. Organic. His real name is Jarvis. I got this membership gargoyle mask from. Anybody doesn't want to believe this is real, people want to think that I'm making this up, it's cool, bro. You can think whatever you want, but I'll put some evidence up here, right here.
Yes, sir. Shout out to a real inspiration. My brother, Mr. Organic. Go get your green ski mask.
It's pure, I ain't gotta make up shit. Organic from the seed. This food.
Well, guys, like I said, I thought about a long time how to talk about this, and I've waited 10, 11 months, however long it was since I got this. And even before then, man, and Jarvis, if you're watching this, I have no hate towards you, man. I don't despise you or anything like that, despite what people say, despite what you did to me personally, bro. And if you don't want to hear it, it's cool. It's not a problem. I'm not expecting you to listen to me. I'm not expecting you to, for once, be humble and put your ego aside and listen to what many people are saying, bro. Okay, look, dude, I can make this video, bro, and I can expose and say this and that. I've been watching you for years, bro, ever since you used to go with Jimbo at the 3B's Honey with his granddaughter. Jarvis Jungle, bro. I've been with you, bro. I've been with you. See, your problem is that you think everybody's out to get you, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you, because look at what is happening. But here's the problem. You might think it's cool, dude. You think, I become stronger with hate. No, you don't, bro. It doesn't work like
11 months ago or so, in my ignorance,
I believed him and I bought the member mask. And this is like the ski mask for $150 to get a video shout out in a meetup. And like I said, this is it looks like a ski mask or whatever kind of mask. He sold them in green, like neon green and black. He then pretended he didn't know me afterwards, and with a sort of blatant disrespect and attempted narcissism. I never said anything. He then said, buy more merch if you're a real one. So again, in my ignorance, I did. Days later, he roasted me on his IG live and in his live video with extreme disgust and hatred. I was dumbfounded. I never said anything until now that I see that he's always a fake MF and evil hating tyrant who will give you a smile now and a knife in your back tomorrow.
He's basically just taking the money. Basically, the definition of a scam, right? People always use the term scam very loosely, but basically an actual definition of a scam is not getting what you paid for. Basically, it's the equivalent of flushing your money down the toilet. If you got a course and it was trash information or it wasn't good quality, you didn't get scammed, you got finessed, more like it. But a scam is basically the equivalent of flushing your money down the toilet and not getting anything in return. And last up on the hit list, we got ex-scammer turned finance guru, bandman Kevo. Or copyright Kevo, I should say. Who has the secret sauce to not only help you make millions with an M, by doing exotic car rentals, pimping your girl out on OnlyFans.
So I want to tell y'all basically how to make millions of dollars off OnlyFans using a female that you might have sitting in your living room.
Or renting your place out on Airbnb. But will also help you clean up your credit history and increase your credit score into the 800 club with credit cleaning letters for upwards of $1,000. Also, you can get 50 credit cleaning letters for $200. And conveniently enough, you need a $600 credit cleaning course to really understand how to use them properly. And of course, there's no refund policy. All sales are final. You get me? Hold up, fact check. It's recently been reduced to $500, so look a bit more affordable for us broke people. Oh, and let's not forget the 10-minute FaceTime call for $250. I really don't know what you can talk about for 10 minutes, like what actual information you can get out of someone for 10 minutes, but to each his own.
I'm doing FaceTime calls, 10 minutes for $250. Now, a couple of these FaceTime calls will be featured in my YouTube videos, so make sure y'all start getting these FaceTime calls right now, you know what I'm saying, so we can take it to the next level, you know what I'm saying, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about for 10 minutes. Just build a relationship with a person that got that type of money, that been through experience.
But now, let's take a look at some of the free information that he is giving out that's not behind a paywall.
I'm sitting on a bad boy piece of information. Do you understand? A bad boy piece of...
Asimi Aji, $10. Hey, God bless y'all doing the Lord's work, graduating next week from Towson University.
Nice.
Would you recommend paying off student loans all at once or weekly payments?
Never pay off student loans. It's still going to be on your credit after you pay the student loan off.
Damn. Really?
Yeah. Still going to be on your credit. It's not going anywhere. It has to be removed. Even if you pay it off, they're going to know you had a student loan still. It has to be. Plenty of people don't. I'm in the credit game.
Yeah.
Everybody hit me up. They be like, I just paid my student loans off, but why does it still show on my credit? Because you didn't supposed to really pay it off.
Oh, wow. See, I paid my joint off. I didn't even know it's still on my... Man,
I mean,
see,
you could have took the same money, and just had it removed. Yeah, you would have still owed it, but are you going back to college?
No.
Okay, then.
Oh.
It's only for if you're trying to go back to school. Then it was like, oh, well, you still owe a student loan. It only matters if you're going back to school.
See, that's a real scam.
Yeah,
Holy
I didn't know
smokes.
that. I didn't. So, because I was actually, I'm keeps bringing it back up. So, because I had a follow-up question with that. So, when let's say you do it yourself, use the lettering and everything like that, and you get the college loan removed.
Yeah.
You're still obviously responsible to pay it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You still owe it.
Okay.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, long as it's not on my credit, I don't care.
Gotcha.
Away your free book, you're just trying to sell me stuff. Of course I am. I have no shame. I have no guilt. I have no hesitation.
First note, it's just as missed payments can negatively affect your credit score. On-time student loan payments can also positively affect your credit score and credit payment history. It's still important to pay off the student loan so that your overall debt-to-income ratio can be low when being evaluated for, say, a mortgage, right? And rather than trying to remove the student loan in its entirety, you're better off just trying to get negative information related to your student loan off of your credit report. Does that make sense?
And everything like that, and you get the college loan removed.
Yeah.
You're still responsible to pay it.
Yeah. You still owe it.
Okay.
But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, long as
you still owe it, but come on, that's basically what he's talking. Look,
all this other credit he's trying to tell you niggas to run up, all this other shit he's trying to take, that's the mindset he has. Like, you still, quote unquote, owe it. Yes, nigga, you still owe your debt. You got to pay the debts. And I mean, of course, you can just, and if you don't pay it, it's going, how you going to tell niggas to fix their credit, but then say, okay, you quote unquote owe it. That's the mindset he has with all this other shit he's telling you guys to take out, especially you guys who still got your good credit, still maybe just got out of college, high school, ain't ran nothing up yet, your shit up yet. All right, you listen to this nigga, fuck your shit up, and you're going to be 30 and 40 and 50, you're going to fuck. Because of some stupid shit you did, listening to this nigga telling you to run up all this shit, don't even worry about paying it back. Go ahead, say what you go ahead.
He is just, you know what though, man? I mean, he's just doing it right in their face too. It's like he's just slapping them in the face, just straight up, just lying. Man, that is just that shit blows my brains out. Man, he just straight up lying. Oh yeah, you still owe it, nigga. What are you talking? You owe it, but don't care about it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Don't worry about it. It'll go away.
But you know, they're student loans, so you know. No, nigga, I don't know. What are you shrugging your shoulders for? What the fuck does that mean? Stay a slave until I'm dead? If you guys listen to what, and I wasn't even trying to attack his character at first, but man, he's just doing it right in you guys' face. Oh man, that's horrible, man. That's horrible.
The video and all that good stuff. Shout out to Tony Lugan. He said, I like FreshandFit, but they need to do a better job of monitoring their guests. Who believes this dude with this jewelry costume more hashtag game? I said, I'm not even coming at him as a person. Right, I mean, I'm just talking about the information is up though.
Now, in general, there's a small chance that your credit score might temporarily drop once you paid off your student loan. It's kind of weird to think about it, but let me explain. Credit bureaus like to see that you can manage different types of debts. Basically a file mix, right? It accounts for about 10% of your overall credit score. Car loans or student loans are things that have fixed monthly payments in comparison to a credit card, which can vary each month in terms of what you're paying. But regardless, you should never, ever, ever, ever pay interest just to have a higher credit score. And these two Reddit users pretty much give sufficient anecdotal experience of what I'm talking about. One person says, I paid off my 13K student loans in 3 months. So 3 before the first payment, and my credit score dropped about 30 points. But it's rebounded by 50 points in the time since. Just pay it off. It's a large burden off your shoulders. The second person says, installment loans being paid on time help your score. How much? Probably not a lot. I had an 825 plus credit score with no loans whatsoever. My credit union has a nice monthly FICO score with comments on what could have reduced the score from 850, and it came up with quote unquote no installment loans. So pay it off, and having it on there will temporarily decrease your credit score, but in the long run, you'll be good. It'll bounce back. And Kevo, in this podcast with FreshandFit, goes on to talk about how you can possibly make $3K per day with Airbnb or boat rentals.
Finesse the system and get assets without necessarily putting your own money down.
So the main thing is that you should actually be able to save your money in your banking account and use the credit to get ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so if I want a house, they say 10% down. You get a house for 10%, and after you get the house, let's say if you Airbnb the house, you can Airbnb the house every day and let the house pay for itself. So let's say if the mortgage is $3,000, and if you get $3,000, $2,000 a day, depending on what type of home it is. Let's say if it's a mansion and it's in like Georgia or somewhere, it's cheap, right? $3,000 a day, you might be able to pay your rent up for the whole year, and the house is going to eventually pay for itself, all off of credit.
All I'm gonna say on this aspect is always fact check what I or any other person, influencer, content creator, whatever, says online with a multitude of secondary opinions. And my go-to spot is usually Reddit or Quora. And speaking of Airbnb income, right? The average income per month is about $1,000 for an Airbnb host. So take that how you wish. Now, the road to good credit begins with checking your credit history from credit bureaus directly and not just relying on third-party apps like Credit Karma or Borrell.
About credit. So people be like, okay, what is the first step to start on, getting my credit up?
Yeah.
I always tell them that you should look at what's on your credit first, because you might have a lot of stuff that needs to be removed as far as old addresses, a lot of inquiries. A lot of people got student loans. So I feel like you should clean your credit first and then build it.
If you're in the US or the UK, you want to order your credit report directly from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. If you're in Canada, we only have Equifax and TransUnion.
And how you build it is by like trade lines, or if you know people who have money, that's around you with high limit credit cards, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 credit cards, you can ask to be an authorized user on their credit card. So
Bam.
if, let's say if you guys are friends and he got a $50,000 credit card, you're like, hey bro, can I pay you to be on your credit card for about 4 months? Now he will inherit all your history. You get what I'm saying? Now that's just shot your score.
Now, you could buy a trade line for $600 to $2,000, which can last you for a couple months, right? That's a good quick fix, quick hack.
Good credit pays you in this world today.
Can you tell people what a trade line is? Because I know a lot of people might not know what that is.
Okay, a trade line is somebody else's credit history that you can actually purchase. So if somebody had a credit card since 2010 at $50,000, you can actually go purchase that limit and that credit limit, on a website basically.
Okay.
That's all it really is. They call it a trade line, but it's really authorized user.
Or you could convince family and friends to let you be an authorized user on their credit card for a small fee or some type of fee or monthly fee by paying them basically.
Because trade lines you buy and they only stick for like 3-4 months. They fall off unless it's your friend and he could take you off whenever. But if you buy it off a site, they don't keep you on there that long.
Oh, so you can only, so you're basically paying to rent a line that has a higher limit. Is that for the sole purpose of maybe you're going to apply for some credit cards at that time?
Which
to help you?
this the only thing good trade lines are good for when you know, because you got 2 to 3 weeks before they hit. So if you buy it and it hits, you go get your car, go get your home, or go get your credit card.
Right there and then. Okay.
Because you don't really have too much time because it's a site where if I give them my information and say, hey, y'all can add 10 people on my credit card, but I don't want them on there longer than 2 months or a month. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So they're going to pay me and then the people take my credit or whatever, you know?
Gotcha.
So that's just how it works.
sense. So, okay, so it basically allows the people a finite amount of time, typically shorter, to be able to go out there, apply for whatever they couldn't get before, and be able to get approved for a home
Or just hear me out. You could get a secured credit card with that money.
I'm sitting on a bad boy piece of information. Do you understand? A bad boy piece of...
Basically, you give the credit card company, say, $200 or $500, and after 6 to 8 months of consistent on-time payment, your secured credit card, becomes an unsecured credit card, and you get your money back. All while building good history on your own trade line or your own credit card, right? Basically, a trade line is anything that reports payment history to the credit bureau or on your credit report, right? Student loans a trade line, credit cards a trade line, auto loan, car loans a trade line. Anything that reports payment history is a trade line. Also, the extra money that you would have used to buy a trade line, you can now use that to build out your emergency fund, right? Have some extra savings in there, or to pay off debts or pay down debts. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most cost-efficient approach. If you're in the US, the best secured credit card is probably the Discover It secured credit card.
One and only the Discover It secured credit card, baby. This has a $0 annual fee, which is huge when you're trying to build your credit, because most cards charge annual fees because they're like, yeah, this guy doesn't have the best credit, so let's just kick him while he's down. I know, credit card companies are terrible, but another great thing about this card is you actually get 1% to 2% cash back on purchases, which is insane for a secured credit card. And to top that off, Discover will actually match your cash back during your first year, which again is insane for a secured credit card. Then lastly, this secured credit card only makes you put $200 towards it. So if you don't know what a secured credit card is, it's essentially you giving Discover $200 and saying, here's my $200. They're gonna say, okay, thank you. We're gonna give you a credit card that has a $200 limit on it, and then it acts like a normal credit card. You charge it, you make payments, you charge it, you make payments, and it's a normal credit card. Then when you actually close that account, Discover goes, hey, thanks for being a customer. Here's the $200 you gave us at the beginning. Take that back into your bank account.
If you're in Canada, your best bet is the Home Trust Secured Visa.
Number 1, the Home Trust Secured Visa. This card comes in 2 different versions, a no annual fee card and a $59 annual fee card. The difference is that the annual fee card has a lower interest rate of 14.9% compared to 19.99%. But in my opinion, the annual fee card is irrelevant because if you can't afford to be paying your balance off in full,
then you can't afford to pay any interest at all.
Also, racking up a balance is probably how some people ruin their credit in the first place.
Declined. Really?
If you want to use credit cards properly, you should pay them off in full so you don't get charged interest. Minimum security deposit for this card is $500, the highest on this list, and the maximum is $10,000. Approval rate for this card is over 95%. Only people currently in bankruptcy do not qualify. They must get discharged first.
And if you're in the UK, you have the Aqua Classic secured credit card.
3, we have the Aqua Classic credit card. This one has a credit limit of £1,200, which is obviously much higher than the previous cards, which is obviously a bit nicer to have a more flexible credit limit to buy things that you need. Obviously, if you've got a car repair coming up, this might actually exceed £500, and therefore it's nicer to have a bigger credit limit to be able to afford to pay this amount. They also accept people that have bad credit. This is obviously worse than having no credit, and is when your score is below 450. This is really good because if you've missed a payment or two, they'll give you the opportunity to repair your credit history and prove that you're a reliable spender. For this card, you also don't need to have any minimum income, and it also doesn't matter what current bank account you have. This credit card isn't limited for students and is available for everyone, as long as you're over the age of 18.
And big notes, okay? Listen, Shumbo, listen to me. Listen. As far as credit card management is concerned, I'd always recommend keeping your overall credit card utilization at around 20%. Therefore, if your credit card limit is, let's say, $1,000, you never use more than $200 at a given time. Let's say your balance goes up to $250, right? You stop using your credit card. You pay it off in full, or you pay it down to maybe $50 or $100, and then use your credit card again. Or if you have a big payment that is greater than $200, like the 20% utilization, you're transferring money to your credit card within seconds or minutes of making that purchase, right? So let's say about to make a $700 purchase on a $1,000 limit. Make that payment, and next thing you know, within a minute, you are transferring money to pay it off right then and there. Having your own self-imposed credit card limit ensures that you're never carrying a balance or missing payments because, you know, the balance has become too large. Basically, you're not maxing out your card or over-leveraging yourself, especially if you don't have a robust amount of money in your savings accounts, right? If an emergency comes up, you're using your credit card as opposed to using your emergency fund. So I was helping a shorty I'm dealing with, you know what I'm saying? I'll be out here in these streets, these dating streets, get a credit card. And they gave her a $2,000 limit at 19, basically. Yo, they were plotting on her downfall. I'm not gonna cap. I basically told her, you know, don't use more than $100, which would be 10% actually, at a given time without paying it off. And we set up alerts to ensure that, you know, she wouldn't go past that amount. So anytime she'd go over $100, she'd get an alert to start paying that money down in full or pay a portion of it down. If you follow this protocol in business and personal finance, you will never end up in $12,000 of credit card debt. It's pretty straightforward. And as far as getting negative items removed from your credit report, I highly recommend Carolyn Warren's book, Repair Your Credit Like the Pros, How Credit Attorneys Legally Delete Bad Credit and Repair Your Good Name. Restore your good name. That can be found on Amazon, linked in the pinned comment for the expensive price of $20. As far as Bandman Kevo's financial education content on his OnlyFans subscription service is concerned, watch this video right here where I bought his stuff and reviewed it, or watch my other video right here on how you can rent an apartment despite having bad credit or an eviction on your record. Or watch my other video right here on the hidden cost of moving in or living with your girlfriend or boyfriend. But as always, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How you lot doing today? Say it with me. I am doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. No cap. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces.
I can't have back all the time that I've wasted. I wasted some time, but time it takes patience. Take time to different locations. Belfast kid, we don't talk to no stations. Sweet one till I move in rotation. Move with my team, can't move to complacent. Broke when I lived in the ends, become places. Toasted the ones that all said we won't make it. Life for the party when we step in, standard. 3 girls on me at the moment, hat trick. All my brothers living like kings, like fantastic. Can't be the only one winning, that's me lacking. I get love in my city, I'm rated. You ain't loved in your city, too basic. I don't care about a hair, been hated. Sipping on a coke with a Henny too wasted.